All right, next we have the Yuba City Lodging Association 2018 Annual Report. Got Darren Gill.
Good evening, Mayor Didball, council members. Darren Gale, your Economic Growth and Public Affairs Manager. This evening, I'm before you to present the annual report for the Yuba City Lodging Association. This is really exciting, as I mentioned the other day in the goal setting workshop. The City Council dedicated literally over $300,000, close to $400,000 to a tourism effort. And the purpose of that was to work with our lodging partners through a contract with the Chamber of Commerce to set up a dedicated source of funding for tourism for our region. Through that effort, the Yuba City Tourism Improvement District was established, and now we have the Yuba City Lodging Association. Here today is Jacob Young. Jacob is with, I just went blank. Collins Lake. I was going to say the best ice cream in the Yuba City region. So, but Collins Lake, yeah, just today we joke, well, I joke every week and I ask him where the ice cream is. So, but Jacob is the secretary for that board. We also have Lee Jones with the Harkey House. Lee and Bob just celebrated their 35th year in business at the Harkey House. Absolutely amazing. And we have Brianna Struckmeyer, a staff member for the Yuba City Lodging Association that's here. I just want to give a couple quick details, and I'll turn over to Jacob. He'd like to talk a little bit, and then I'll come back and answer any questions you might have. But one of the things I would mention is the city, through this last budget process, set aside a 10% match for the Yuba City Lodging Association. To date, we have yet to give those funds to the Lodging Association. The Lodging Association has been meeting since April, so this really started in April. And there's been a transition from the Chamber now to the Lodging Association. And up until really just here a few weeks ago, the Lodging Association did not have the website or the logo or any of the collateral that had been created over the past years. Recently, the Chamber of Commerce made the decision to provide that over to the Lodging Association. It's one of the things that the board had requested, and we appreciate Steve Hammerstrom, their current president, for kind of leading that effort and taking to their board of directors. So I will say we're a little bit behind of where we want to be. They really wanted to be up and running here already, but Jacob will kind of explain to you a little bit more about what's going on, and again, I can answer any questions after that.
And thank you, Mayor. Good evening, the City Council members. My name again is Jacob Young. I work up at Collins Lake, and I am the Vice President and Treasurer of the Yuba City Lodging Association. And I just wanted to personally thank the whole City Council for your support of the Yuba City Lodging Association in the formation period and over this past year. As Darren had mentioned, we had the transition of moving away from the Chamber of Commerce of managing the Yuba City Lodging Association, and through that transition, it didn't go as we expected. But where we are today, I'm very proud of what we have done over this past year as we have tried to regroup as the business and lodging owners of the association. But we wouldn't have been able to do that without your continued support of this effort that we are doing as gathering and trying to market our region. So I just wanted to personally thank each of you for your support through the creation process and this year as we have been implemented. As Darren had mentioned, our board is comprised of Steve Young from the Hampton Inn and Suites. He is our president. We have Lee Jones and Bob Jones here, but Lee is the representing from the Harkey House Bed and Breakfast. Gene Keeble from the Comfort Inn and Suites. Darren Gale is our secretary, representing on the City of Yuba City. And then we have Brenda Stranix from the Yuba City Economic Development Corporation, and then myself that make up the board of the Yuba City Lodging Association. Darren had also mentioned that we have been meeting since April of this past year, and trying to get a consensus of how we're going to be moving forward. A lot of that has been laid out in the annual report that was provided. And again, I think the entire board would have wished we would have been in this position last year, coming before here, but unfortunately, it kind of derailed us a little bit of not having access to the website and all of the marketing materials that had been established for tourism related purposes. But I want to commend the current Chamber of Commerce board for turning that over to us. Steve Hammerstrom we've had multiple conversations. He's been extremely supportive of our marketing efforts, and just to see the transition from where we were a year ago to where we are today, the entire Yuba City Lodging Association is very excited to continue to move forward where we thought we would have been a year ago and work in collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce on upcoming projects as we continue forward in that. And so one of the things that we have done during that transition period where we weren't sure if we were going to have access to those marketing related collateral is we moved forward with a marketing agency called MC Squared based out of Chico. And so we have a contract that we're signing with them to continue to revamp our marketing efforts. And now that we do have the marketing pieces from the Chamber of Commerce, we'll be able to go live with that very shortly. Our projection is to be going live with all that by June of this year. And then we've also hired Struckmeyer Marketing to have Brianna Struckmeyer come in and do the day-to-day management for the Yuba City Lodging Association with that. And so the annual report did outline what we will be doing in this upcoming year, as well as what got us to this point. But I just wanted to personally come before the City Council to, again, thank you for what you've done and for the continued support as we go forward for this next year to implement these different projects. And I will be available, as well as Darren and Brianna, if there are any questions about where we're moving forward with that. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Jacob. Any questions?
No question, but I would like to compliment you on bringing on Brianna, because she was the heart and soul of establishing this and working with you in the chamber, and became very well known through different organizations in the state on this, and had all the brain trust right there, the actual action of it. And so bringing her on and her addition at this time, it was, I think, a very wise move, and that was, I think it was great.
Great.
Through the mayor. And I echo the same comments that Councilmember Cleveland has just presented, but I also, a little different approach to all of this, and that is that we have a great opportunity to grow in our community. And we see that as we are advancing forward with possibly 2 hotel projects in addition to what we currently have right here in Yuba City. And the potential is really open right now for further expansion. There are needs here for lodging, and certainly as we grow and try to produce a true tourism component, we have to have the lodging, we have to have that backbone for that right here, right in Yuba City, to be able to support that. And I think that this is the effort. This is commendable of the group, as they have stuck with this and supported this from an industry to build us to become self-supportive, I think is commendable. To Collins Lake, who, if y'all don't know, they have about, I think it's 138 campsites. Am I correct? 300 campsites. I was a little under on that one. And there are times when you go up to Collins Lake where they're booked out.
Yeah.
And that is amazing for our area. And folks come from Southern California, as far away as Utah, that are there and then participate in different things in our community. And I really think that all of those efforts, not just Collins Lake, but everything else that's in our area, is remarkable and certainly on point to be able to produce far more tourism in our community.
Great. Any other comments?
Oh, man. Jacob and Darren, you referenced some projects you have in the works to help move things forward. I would be curious to know if you have an example of some of those things that you have pending.
So probably best to have Brianna come up. In the
I know.
She provided today at the board adopted this document, and also she provided the board with a schedule for this entire year of some projects, and she probably be best for Brianna to come up and explain a couple of those.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again. It's been a while, so it's exciting for me to kind of be back in the midst of these projects and to get up and running on some of these. So provided in your report is a list of some of the things that are up and coming. But just to give you a brief overview, really getting back on track with marketing efforts, and the core of the marketing efforts, including the website and the social media, is at the forefront of priorities. So we're working with MC Squared, our marketing agency out of Chico, like Jacob mentioned, to get those redesigned, kind of rebranded, up and running soon. Along with that, with our management district plan of the TID, it calls out some specific areas. So we're looking at specifically categories like sports management or sports tourism. So we'll be doing some research and some campaign development in marketing efforts in the sports industry, as well as addressing some visitor transportation needs and how we can work with the local community or work with different entities to provide better transportation to create package type trips for people when they come here. So those are kind of two new areas that we haven't really looked at before. Other things include media tours, a visitor's guide for 2019, so an annual visitor's guide that will be starting again next year, but will need to be planned and designed in this year. As well as a community ambassador program. So we can actually create a marketing effort, a curriculum to where anyone in the community who is interested can participate in undergoing education and curriculum based knowledge of tourism in Yuba Center, so that we can create a group of ambassadors to help welcome in visitors, let them know what there is to do in the area. So I'm sure everyone knows very well that, you know, when you go through any community, you stop at restaurants, you stop at gas stations, you stay at hotels and different lodging entities, and you always ask, the first face that you see, what is there to do in the area? So there's some interest in training and making sure that our forefront hospitality service members are up to date and can give a visitor a really wonderful overview and insight as to what there is to do, so that we can provide the best experience possible. So it's kind of the first year in a nutshell, in a sense.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And through the mayor, I think that Brianna needs to go ahead and work out some type of contractual agreement with our Parks Department for the new use of the new bus, which handles 24 passengers.
Exactly.
So we'd like to pay that thing off as quickly as we can.
Exactly. Any further questions?
Through the mayor, I just have to thank you, Brianna, and welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns, comments? If not, we have a motion to adopt a resolution.
Through the mayor?
Yeah.
I'll make the staff's recommendation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? All right, thank you.